If it rappers sit back, I'm about to sit back, sit back, I'm about to begin. Sit back, I'm about sit back, I'm about to begin.
Okay. That's a headache. So, as much as I was adamant and in full support of Felix Anudike-Uzomah being this pick at 31, I'm just as reserved on this pick to not really know how I feel. I was talking a lot with our guy Clay Windler, our producer, and one of my best friends, Shaggy Shane, last night in our group text. And Eddie and Trevor and I were talking as well. I don't want to put expectations on Rashee Rice just yet, even though he's a second-round pick and the Chiefs traded up for him. And again, this is now the second year in a row the Chiefs have traded up into the second round, or took a wide receiver. Last year, Sky Moore was 54. Rashee Rice is now 55. I look, if I had to give an honest assessment on this, again, it's been less than 24 hours since this pick was made. If I have to give an honest assessment on this pick right now, I look at him as a project. I don't think this is a guy that's going to make big impact this next season. And the biggest reason why isn't just because of some of the worries and concerns they have on his weaknesses. And even his strengths sound good. But even his strengths, they mentioned in that overview, are inconsistent. So this means that they're going to have to coach the hell out of this kid over the next 12 to 16 months, right? Which I'm good with because he has insane talent. Everybody I talk to says he's talented.
It's a discipline
but
issue.
There's a caveat, attached to it. So it's going to really come down to his want to. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. So
I think making the
here.
NFL will kind of give you that little kick in the ass.
Sure, but there's a lot of guys that sometimes rely on what they already have, rest on their laurels a little bit, especially wide receivers. We have to be honest here. Cornerbacks and wide receivers are the two most egotistical guys on the field because they're on an island.
A lot of prima donnas.
They're on an island. They're kind of on their own. They're an entity, you know? So it's going to really come down to the 1-2, and that's a risk. It's a very risky pick, especially when you consider the fact that Chiefs did trade up 8 spots to get this kid. And we had this conversation last night, Eddie, Trevor, and I. We were talking about this, and I'm not going to speak for you guys. You guys say your pieces. But we were talking about how this affects what the Chiefs might do with the potential of getting DeAndre Hopkins. And I vehemently stand on this side. This pick does not change that for me, and I'm going to explain why. The history of rookie wide receivers under Andy Reid since he's been with Kansas City. I didn't go look at his Eagles numbers because to me that's irrelevant. It's been a whole decade since he's been with the Chiefs. It's been since 2013. So I'm going to go down this list real quick of the receivers the Chiefs have taken and what they did in their rookie years. Sky Moore had 22 receptions, 250 yards, 0 touchdowns. Cornell Powell, 0-0-0. McCole Hardman, 26 receptions, 538 yards, 6 touchdowns. Solid. Tremont Smith, 0-0-0. Jehu Chesson, 2 catches, 18 yards, 0 touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson, 0-0-0. Tyreek Hill, 61 receptions, 593 yards, 6 touchdowns. Solid. Chris Conley, 17 receptions, 199 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Deron Brown, 0-0-0. Like I said, the Chiefs drafting Rashee Rice doesn't change the fact that the Chiefs clearly have a glaring need at wide receiver. Could he turn into something special? Sure. I am open-minded to that, and I hope it happens. Just like Justin Ross, just like Sky Moore, just like Kadarius Toney. I hope these dudes become something badass. I want to see it. But I have no reason to believe it yet because I haven't seen it happen. They have the talent, they have the potential, but it hasn't been executed yet. So therefore, I can't give them that credence just yet. Yeah. But it's been proven for a decade now that wide receivers don't do much. Rookie wide receivers don't do much in Andy Reid's offense. If the Cardinals designate, and this is what I want to bring up, the reason why people think, oh, well, now that the room's filled, they're not going to have the money, they're not going to have the reason to go after DHop. Guys, you do realize now the Chiefs don't have to trade for DHop because no one's trading for DHop now. It's not happening. So we're in day 3 of the draft. If it was going to happen, it would happen the 2 previous days for someone to trade for him. Because the Cardinals aren't going to wait for next year's draft to utilize something to justify it. And they can't fit him under the cap structure. He is owed $19.5 million this year, and the Cardinals do not want to fit that under their books. And according to this, if the Cardinals designate DHop as a post-June 1st cut, they save $19.5 million on the cap. The Cardinals do. That is going to happen. So when that happens, the Chiefs can come in and say, hey, DHop, look, we provide you the best quarterback in the NFL. You're not going to have all the pressure and expectation on you because we already have a good, solid roster around you at wide receiver. Good guys, skilled players. And Travis Kelce's still the best tight end in football. Have an awesome offensive line. Oh, and we just won our 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years. How about we come in here? Let's have a discussion. Okay, 1 year, $5 million to start as a base salary. We have incentives that brings you up to about 10 to 15 million. Sound good?
Sounds good.
If you get 70 receptions this year, you get 10 million. If you get 950 yards to 1,000 yards, you get another couple million. If you get 10 touchdowns, you get another couple million. If you get us to the playoffs, we win the Super Bowl, another couple million. And that's perfect for DHop because of the fact that he gets to now use the Super Bowl tax for his next contract. Because you know there are going to be teams out there next offseason.
Let alone for his legacy.
Exactly.
His personal legacy.
They're going to say DHop had the PED scandal. He's had injury concerns. It didn't end so good in Arizona. But he just went out there and had 85 catches for 1,085 yards and 9 touchdowns for the Chiefs, and they just won the Super Bowl for the second straight season. Yeah, hey, DHop, you want a 3-year, $100 million deal? Sounds good to me. I mean, obviously the numbers are ridiculous. I'm just saying, there's going to be a team out there that's going to offer him that kind of money, and he can retire on top with the legacy intact. Because, look, guys, like I was telling Shaggy Shane and Clay last night, DHop is not viewed as a long-term solution.
No.
That is why, on Travis Kelce, who's not a long-term solution anymore, I wanted to see the Chiefs go after a tight end. Mm-hmm. So now the Chiefs have all these young what-ifs at wide receiver, correct? Those are your guys that you're looking at as long-term solutions. 2024, 2025, 2026. That is what Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, and Kadarius Toney are. Those are guys that you're looking at for the future. What you need right now is a right now. And that is what DeAndre Hopkins offers you. That's what he provides you. Just like the Chiefs offered DeAndre Hopkins that right back in return, where you give him something that's right now.
Yep.
You can give him a Super Bowl chance right now. And then when he's done with that chance, he can go make some more money. Long-term solution. It works for both sides. It's good business.
It's a win-win.
It makes total sense. But not to make this in just a D-Hop conversation. What I'm saying in this is, this doesn't change anything for me. Rashee Rice is just now one of the guys. You threw him into the litter. That is what he looks like to me. He's not a guy that I think is a wide receiver 1 next year for sure. I will almost guarantee that's not the case. He will be a solid contributor at best. Sky Moore is just as talented as Rashee Rice. Just as talented. He may not be as big, but he is just as talented.
With the NFL season.
And he had 250 yards last year. And the Chiefs did not have, everybody talk about, well, they didn't have wide receiver 1 last year. Exactly. And they still don't. So why am I supposed to believe that Rashee Rice is going to go out there and do anything more than what Sky Moore just did last season? I don't.